Rachel Baribeau here, host of SundaySOUL. Wanted to take this week to have just some one-on-one time with me and with you and you and you and you and you, and maybe your cats and your dogs and your turtles and your parakeets, and I don't know who you got with you. But we have had an unbelievable season, and we have 1 week after this. I've taken you on the road with me to an historic event for women's flag football opportunities that are being brought about in part by the Atlanta Falcons and Arthur Blank. Very, very grateful to him and the Arthur Blank Family Foundation for being a part and being able to be the personal hype person of that event. I've taken you on the road with me to Minnesota football. For years and years, people have asked me, I want to see your talks. I want to be there. And we gave you a snippet of it and you loved it. And so I'm so glad. We also heard from Dad, How Do I? Just proof that if you are walking in your why, in your who you are meant to be, good things are going to happen to you. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying you're going to wake up every day and, it's going to, every day is going to be fabulous. And, these people, I saw something the other day where one preacher was calling out another preacher respectfully, but it was like, hey, retweet this and there's going to be a $1,000 in your bank account by next Monday. We don't know that, right? I'm not telling you that every day is going to be easy or you're going to have great wealth or any of those things. But I will tell you that if you're doing what you're meant to do in this world, that good things, that miracles will happen to you. And I say miracles are things like the smile of a little girl. Miracles are things like watching an older couple hold hands and cross the street. Miracles are seeing somebody give up their seat on the subway. Miracles are seeing a little girl's lemonade stand go viral and make $10,000. There is good in the world. There's tons of good happening in the world. It's just which wolf we choose to feed. That's it. So we've had some amazing episodes. We've got this one and we've got one more with my friend, Leah Turner, an amazing Latina country music artist and star who's really making waves for so many people in being authentically who she is. And so if there's a message for you today, and that the message that's really been throughout this season, and my hugest and most special thanks to Emma Jorgensen. She is my lead creative. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary together. I met her with the Gophers, with Minnesota Gopher football, and she was a part of the mental health game that we hosted together. First ever national mental health game, Minnesota and Maryland, and she was a part of that. And then she so graciously decided to join the movement and myself. And so as we have just passed the 1-year anniversary with her, every good and wonderful thing that you have seen SundaySOUL grow, graphics, sound, B-roll, creativity, ads, all of the things that you've seen with SundaySOUL is because of this woman, because of this queen. And so a huge and special thank you to my friend and a member of our family, and I'm changing the narrative, Emma Jorgensen, for everything that she does. So it has been a special season nonetheless. We have one more episode and then we take a break. Why do we take a break? We take a break for about 6 weeks between seasons. I didn't used to do this. Let me kind of tell you the genesis of SundaySOUL. When I first started it, I started it February of the pandemic, and it was because I missed sportscasting, and having retired in 2019, right before the pandemic started, and having no idea what was going to happen with the pandemic, and myself as a believer, I remember more than a couple of times looking back at Jesus and saying, are you sure that I heard you correctly? Like, are you sure that I was supposed to retire from sportscasting? But nonetheless, I did. And the pandemic made me stronger. Although I lost things and although I went through extreme hard times, it has made me stronger in the long run. But I started SundaySOUL in February of 2020 from a friend's backyard, really just wanting to hold on to the opportunity to visit with really neat people and then visit with you. You're the neatest people behind the scenes, the people that watch these episodes. I just got a message from somebody this week that said, with everything going on with my dad, and his name is Mitch, with everything going on with my dad, his dad is sick. I so look forward to your episodes every Sunday. And that is why we do it. That is why we put in the hard work, the long hours, all the people around me that are so supportive, but particularly Emma, that is our lead creative, myself, the guests that come on. That's why we do what we do. But when I first started it, it was like, okay, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22. And we never took breaks. And already with the added stress of the pandemic, I wasn't taking breaks. I was just like every Sunday. And you can imagine. And then Emma came along and said, I feel like this episode is dedicated to Emma. But Emma came along and said, why don't we do seasons, Rachel? So people can, and look, here's another thing. You always take things away from me. If you are taking notes and you learn things from me, one is surround yourself with really smart people. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need new friends. That's just the truth. Okay. I have only gotten to where I've gotten. And I used to say this in sportscasting. The smartest coaches know how to delegate, meaning that they can let go, not be control freaks. Most of them are, and I love my coaches, but let go enough to let their coaches do the jobs so they can be the best at what they are at. And so Emma says to me, why don't we do episodes, or why don't we do seasons? We'll do a season and then we'll take a break and we'll recharge and we'll be the best version of ourselves we can be. And then we'll go into another season. And so next Sunday, this is episode 5. And then episode 6 is my friend Leah Turner, which you're absolutely going to love. And then we're taking a break. Okay. And then we're taking a break. And why I wanted to talk to you about this today is because it's something that I have been teaching on for a while, and I'm changing the narrative, but it's really, 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 really important during the pandemic and after the pandemic, always, but I think it's really heightened now. And it's self-care. And particularly, I've been teaching it to men. And you may be watching this and saying, well, I'm not a man. Well, I bet you love a man. I bet you got a daddy. You may have a boyfriend, you may have a brother, you may have a cousin, you may have an uncle, you may have a grandfather, you may have any of those things. And what I'm going to say about what I teach on the self-care with men can be applied to women as well. So first of all, and I've been teaching this also, thank you to the Harris County Department of Education in Texas. I've been teaching English as a second language. No, I am not fluent. I'm working on being fluent. Being Hispanic myself, but I've been teaching I'm Changing the Narrative in ESL classes over the summer, and it's been so rewarding. And we talk about self-care with males, with females at ESL and churches and so many different places. And why it's so important is this. And if you're taking notes, here's the first thing. What do you love to do? What fills your cup? When's the last time you even thought about it? When I speak to men, many schools over the past 6 months, when I speak to men, it is not, by far, not the majority of the room that raise their hands when I say, do you know what fills your cup? Do you know what self-care is? As a matter of fact, just in the last place I was in, a king at the end was brave enough to stand up, raise his hand, not stand up, raise his hand and say, but what do you mean by self-care? And I applauded him. I wanted to run up the aisle. I wanted to give him a bear hug. Because him being brave enough to ask that, I know there were other people in the room that didn't understand either. So let me say it clearly to you. There are things in this world that fill the cup of your soul. And what fills your cup is different than what fills my cup. Okay. And the next person. Yes, sleep fills everybody's cup. Yes. For the most part, joy and exercise and fresh air, those things. But I'm talking about a deeper level of self-care, okay? A deeper level of self-care. So one of the first things I want you to do is to really do some investigation. Start a journal over the next couple of weeks. What really brings me joy? Me getting up at sunrise. I am not a morning person at all. Don't even know how this is happening. But I've been getting up at sunrise to watch a beautiful sunrise where I live down in Florida and read the Bible. I know that naps are really great. I've recently got back into reading. I love reading, especially World War II historical fiction. And then just historical books about the Holocaust, about the Civil War, and then just fiction itself. So I love to read. I love to read self-help books, but even me, because I'm no different than you. I'm just a queen under construction, trying to figure it out, constantly learning, growing, and seeking. And one of the things I have to constantly ask myself is, what is something new, Rachel, that you could do that would fill your cup? I haven't danced in a while. Okay. I haven't played golf in a while. If you are on my Instagram, you probably saw my little ditty, my little Prince ditty, as I was playing golf at the Graduate, and broke out into a dance. And I remembered how much both those things, dancing and golf, fills my soul. Okay. So one, I want you to do some investigation over the next couple of weeks. What fills your soul? Okay. And then I want you to be really dedicated about it. Like, okay, this week I am going to make time to nap. This week I am going to, the other day, I love to take baths the other day, but you know what I always do? I end up bringing my telephone to the bath, and then I'm checking social media, I'm reading articles, and I never end up, recently, past couple of years, reading the book that I brought to the actual bath. Okay. So the other day I did something and it was kind of big for me. I set my phone across the side of the bathroom so I couldn't grab it in the bathtub, and it forced me to read actually in the bathtub. Okay. It was good for my soul. It was only 15 minutes, but it was fantastic for my soul. Again, reading's good for my soul, but I'm asking you to, one, figure out what it is that you know is good, but two, do some investigation. Look at it as a journey. Look at it as something fun, like, oh my gosh, I get to discover what sets my soul on fire. I get to discover what makes me happy. Because here's the reality. If you haven't filled your cup, you're no good for anybody else. And you are going to run bone dry. You're going to hit the wall. You're going to end up yelling at somebody, being mean to somebody, making a bad decision. Something's going to happen because you haven't taken care of yourself. Okay. I tell moms and dads this all the time that are overworked and say, I can't get away. I highly recommend solo vacations, even for a couple of nights. Moms or dads say, I can't get away for that long. Go to a hotel room for one night. I call them travel angels. Lay in the bed and just rub your arms back and forth like you're making a snow angel on the sheets, on the clean sheets in the hotel room. Maybe not the duvet cover, because we never know how much they wash that. But do that and eat dinner in bed in your pajamas and watch whatever you want and take a bubble bath. So there's all different kinds of self-care, but the first ones are what we already know and maybe we're neglecting. The second ones is discovering new ones. Discovering new ones. I now live near the beach. I'm gonna now get up and try to see if I can't spend my mornings, like one or two of the times of the week, walking on the beach, right? I know I'm terrible at art, but maybe doing art with my bonus daughters who love to draw or paint would be something that would be wonderful for my soul. Okay. So it's all about exploration of new things as well. And why this was important today to talk to you about is because people don't talk to men about these things. They talk to women. We talk to women. Magazines, media, classes, courses. Take care of you, queen. You got it. Do it. Self-care. Yeah. I said at my talk to Minnesota, I get my nails done, but there's never been a rhinestone on my nail that has brought peace to my soul. There's never been a rhinestone on my nail that has filled the cup of my soul. It's the truth. Now, if you get down like James Brown while you're getting your nails done and it brings you that much soul care, God bless you, sister. Bless you. Bless you. It just doesn't do it for me. I need something deeper. Okay. And so when I talk to men, it's always, and still probably will always be shocking to me, the amount that don't even know what self-care is or don't know what feeds their soul. But then there's a few in the room that are amazing, will raise their hand and say, drawing, journaling, music, art, silence, prayer. And so they do know. And then they're able to teach others. Why is it so important? Because of this. If you have a young man and a young woman, a baby brother and a baby sister, and say they're twins, okay? and they both fall down outside. The little boy is told to dust it off. Don't cry. Keep moving. You're tough. The little girl is held and coddled. Oh, baby, are you okay? Dude, you're going to be okay. You're so precious. Oh, that's a hood. You need a Band-Aid. Do you understand the conditioning that's even happening right there? Okay. There's conditioning happening right there. So because of that, men by and large, and I'm painting with a broad brush on purpose, men by and large are taught to not talk about their feelings, are taught not to be show emotion. Many families, I've talked to so many men, the dad said, do not cry. Mom, do not cry. That's a sissy. You're weak. Do not cry. Do not show emotion. And so when you couple those social conditioning tactics and things that have happened, and I'm not mad at anybody's mom or dad or granddaddy. I had somebody point out to me too a couple of years ago that they thought that a lot of, with our men, this holding it all in was men went off to war. They went off to Korea and to Vietnam and to World War II and World War I, and they came back and they were just supposed to be okay. Just all of a sudden you're in the trenches in Vietnam, and then you come back and you're supposed to be rocking your baby in the middle of the night and just be okay with it. And so men, even then through the generations, and I always say, I'm not mad at your granddaddy or granddaddy's granddaddy's granddaddy or his granddaddy, but it's been passed down and it's the truth. So you couple that with a lack of awareness, and this is not a knock on anybody. We're all growing, we're all learning, but you couple that social conditioning with the lack of self-care, not knowing how to fill your own cup, and then we have an epidemic on our hands with men killing themselves, either physical suicides or slow deaths of the soul. And we all know and love men around us. Okay, we got men in our lives, and I want men to be okay. I don't want them to just be okay. I want them to thrive. I don't want them to just survive. I want them to be happy. I want them to know how to take care of their own soul. It's important. So if we had like a theme that's been going on this season, probably is self-care. If I had to pick a theme for this season, it's kind of the tie that binds us. So if you will, today, write down on a note, what fills the cup of my soul? And actually, we at I'm Changing the Narrative, we don't so much call it self-care, we call it soul care. People ask us a lot about our training, and I say, I call it soul training. Because to assume that somebody got this knowledge, these truths, these ideas, these tactics, these ways to take care of themselves at home is really obtuse. You don't know what somebody went through. You don't know if you saw mom hit dad, dad hit mom, mom wasn't around, dad wasn't around, grandparents raised us, no love, people held and touched, people didn't say I love you. We don't know what people saw. We don't know that. And we're teaching, home economics and all sorts of things, but where's the soul training? It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with being able to take care of yourself and loving yourself. And when you have good love for yourself, then you will have good love for others, and you will be an amazingly well-adjusted person. And are we perfect? Heck no. Am I learning? Heck yes. Do I slip and fall flat on my face? Yep. And usually I make an example of it and I teach people something through it. There are times where I do not take care of myself. There was a particular time recently, and it wasn't so much about not taking care of myself. It was one of my best guy friends' fathers died, brought up a lot of emotion. I was traveling nonstop. A lot of hours on the interstate to try to make funerals and this and that. And I had something go wrong in the interview that was completely out of my control, but I felt like it reflected poorly on me. And I ended up on the side of the road in tears. And I recognized that I needed to slow down, that my soul needed more care, more love, more me time, more boundaries. And I couldn't help a lot of those things that happened, but I set some boundaries the next day after the funeral, and it's my best friends, and they wanted me to stay one more night. And I said, I just got to go. I got to take care of me. Sometimes self-care, the greatest self-care is putting yourself first. And you may say, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a so-and-so. Well, you can't be any of those things well if they don't have you around. spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of it. You got to take care of you first. That's why they always say put on your mask on the airplane if it's going down before you put it on anybody else. Okay. So I love you guys so, so much. I'm so thankful. This is why we've been doing this now 2.5 years. You are why we do it. We bring you the neatest people, the neatest conversations, thoughts and ideas and lessons from my soul. And so my hope is today, this afternoon, that you will write out what sets your soul on fire, and then that may be a little bit different, what sets your soul on fire, but what's good for soul care, right? What you already know is good for soul care. And then make sure you do that in the coming weeks. Then I want you to write out 3 or 4 new things that you think just might make you happy. One more great little story. I worked throughout the 4th of July weekend. And that's okay. I had a lot of things going on and a lot to do and learning in a lot of new roles in my life. And so I had a lunch meeting on Monday the 5th where July 4th was observed. And I was driving back home and I was driving along the beach, which I've been working so much, I haven't had a chance to really enjoy the beach. And like I mentioned, I live near it now. So I whipped my car around. I found the nearest beach access, rolled up my pants, and I went and stuck my feet in the sand, in the ocean. And I closed my eyes and I thanked God. I talked to my parents in heaven, and I literally was probably there 5 minutes or less, dusted off my sandy feet, and I went home. And that 5 minutes was profoundly restorative for my soul. So it's not the amount of hours that you spend in soul care. It's the little things that you do that matter to you. A couple of housekeeping notes. We're going to Costa Rica in 2022. And it is very limited. Very. Okay. We are renting out. It's already been rented, a private villa. The whole villa is ours. It's on a mountaintop overlooking the ocean. We have private butlers, private cooks. We are going to be bringing in yoga instructors and all sorts of other amazing little surprises. We're going to be going on some excursions, and I'm going to be teaching on I'm Changing the Narrative, and then lots and lots of fun time. And so if you are interested in that, there'll be a way to contact us in the show notes. The other way that you can choose to contact us, 2 ways to get involved, is 1, to join our Facebook group, Find Your Crown. That is a group and a tribe. We're not selling you anything. We are just a group of like-minded people. And many of them have taken the blueprint, which was everything that I teach in colleges, churches, corporations, and I put it together in a 5-week live e-course twice a week. And it was so intensive and so beautiful that I decided to actually do it once a year. So it's coming back next January. Space will be limited. So in that group, you can find out about that. And many people can tell you their experiences with the blueprint. Okay. So there's that. There's Costa Rica. You can find us through Find Your Crown. You can also text me and join my tribe that way. I have a free ebook that you can grab as well. Just wanted to bless you. But all of these things just enable us to be connected, and for me to love on you and pour into you. And thank you for pouring into me. I get every single one of your messages. They are wonderful. I screenshot many of them so that when I'm having down days, or I feel like quitting, or I'm tired, I look at them and I think, I made a difference, God. I'm doing what you put me on this planet to do. And so thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the feedback that you give me, for the community and the tribe that we have created. I am so incredibly grateful to you. And I have some amazing things personally that I'm going to be announcing in the next couple of weeks. And I want you to be a part of it. And I want you to go along with me and help me make some amazing decisions. All right. I love you guys. Go forth and conquer. Make sure you know what feeds your soul, soul care, and engage in that. And then I want you to discover something new, a couple of new somethings. I love you. We'll see you soon for episode 6 of Sunday Soul. Have a beautiful night, day, afternoon, and week ahead. And remember to focus on today, your intentions of what you want for the rest of the week. Love you guys.